Now we're good. Welcome back to another episode of the Ring Fanatics podcast, episode 172.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Nick, your host. With me, as always, is my co-host Joel. We had a little bit of a delay, but I'll edit that out when I edit that part. But yeah. So as always, as I start every single episode, go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all platforms, every social media. I'm pretty sure we're on every single social media. So
Oh,
whatever
of
you
course we
have,
are.
go follow us there, including wherever you listen to the audio version of your podcast. Give us a 5-star review. Follow us there. Y'all know the deal.
Yes, sir.
Um, what a great. Let's get right into SummerSlam. SummerSlam
Yeah.
was a big show that happened this past Saturday night. Great show. I know you weren't on the prediction episode.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike from Turnbuckle Tablet for coming on and helping me with the predictions. But now we're doing the review. What were your thoughts on SummerSlam? What were your thoughts on everything?
I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. Everybody that needed to look good looked good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I will still say Priest and Gunther was match of the
Match of
night.
the night. Yeah,
That was man, what a match, man.
it was
And then
very good.
the perfect ending.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then shout out to Priest. I don't think a wrestler has ever decided to look at the screen after getting
That is
screwed.
true. I noticed that. I was like, wow, they actually had him show this look at the screen.
Yeah,
And
like he was looking. I was like, no one's ever done that.
I guess
Like,
a
why
lot
don't
of
they do that more?
I guess they don't really show it unless because I know during Raws and Smackdowns, I guess they have the big jumbotron above,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's hard for them to look at that. But that was smart because they did have replays right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that was a
So
perfect like angle and everything. And I was like,
yeah.
oh man.
The ending though, I'm not, it was I don't want to say it was a problem. It was a little bit of a kind of oh, come on, really type of thing. Not with the way they ended the match, where if Balor put Gunther's leg on the rope. Didn't have a problem with that. It was just when he hit his finisher, Priest hit his finisher. He rolled Gunther over to the ropes,
Yeah,
and it was like, dude, you could have just pinned him right there, bro. Why would you I don't know if that was the
it's the
point or
it's the wrestling logic, man. It's like
yeah,
all those times that they roll them closer to the rope. It's like, what are you doing, man? What's
yeah, I
happening?
know. It was kind of like that McIntyre moment at Mania this year. It was like, why would you stand,
On the
stay in the
table,
ring?
yeah,
You could have just left and didn't have to get cashed in on. Same thing
exactly.
with this. I'm like, come on, Priest. It wasn't that. It's not that that big of an issue.
No,
I still
yeah,
loved it. It was
but
I was like, it made him look like a little bit of an idiot. I don't know.
nah, yeah, I get that, but I did like the finish. Like it was smart to do the way they did it with his just putting his foot on the rope, him looking back, and then I did like when he actually reversed one of Gunther's move, but then
Yes,
went straight for
yes.
Finn. I thought that was a cool spot, and then it was finally, all right, this is over.
It had a lot of emotions. It's because once he saw Balor come out, I was like, oh shit, is he actually going to turn? You
Exactly,
know,
yeah.
it got you
What
that
a
in your head,
match.
and yeah, it was a great
Yeah,
match.
I still think match of the night. It was incredible. But there was a lot of great matches on that card.
Yeah,
The women's match, Liv and Rhea.
that was a good match.
That
Good
was a very
match.
good match. Great storytelling.
They
I think it was
executed
awesome.
the it's I wouldn't say heel turn because he was already heel. The heel turn for
Yeah,
Dom was great.
more like the
Um,
face turn for Rhea. I would say the face turn.
yeah, that's the best way
Yeah,
to put it. Yeah, yeah, that way the best way. It was great. It's something that we all saw coming, but it was one of those moments where you had to wait and see if it was actually going to happen.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Same with Finn when he turned. It was but you kind of knew once Dom turned, it was yeah, Balor's definitely doing it.
yeah. And then because even like with the past backstage segments, that Finn was like, yeah, we'll find him, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is happening tonight. Even though we knew it was coming, it was still such a great moment.
it was. Yes, yes. Um, and then we got a lot of new champions.
A
Um,
lot of new
champions.
champions.
I think out of the 6, 2 retained, which were Liv and Cody. Um,
So what's that
which
for new?
yeah, we had LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and then we had Nia Jax and Gunther.
Yeah. Wow.
Which Nia Jax, by the way, shout out to Nia. Glad she won the title, but that was kind of a shock in my opinion. Not in a
That
bad
was a
way.
shock. That was a
Not in a
shock to
bad.
me.
Not in a bad way. Like I'm happy
Uh
she won, but I was like, I kind of was expecting Bailey to retain there for a second.
yeah. Oh, 1,000%. I thought Bailey was winning that. And no, it's not bad at all. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Nia, but she's been doing her thing.
Yeah, and I said this for a lot since she returned. She's impressed me a lot, and I'm,
Yeah.
I'm happy she won it. Question though.
Mm,
Well, a few questions.
okay.
First one. In your opinion, what do you think WWE is going to do with the Tiffany Nia story? Like, how do you think they would book it?
I really don't know because I don't know. Even with the cash in, I really thought she was cashing in. I thought
That was
it was
that was a good like fake though. That was a
yeah,
distraction
because
cash in.
I have no idea where they're going with that storyline. Especially now that Nia got the belt, it's like, all right, cool, but like now, does she have to give Tiff a title shot now? Kind of like since she helped her win.
I don't think so because she has the briefcase. So it's like, why give her a shot if she has a shot already?
True.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
But the reason why I asked that is like, do you think like Tiffany's going to just cash in on Nia eventually? Not soon, but like eventually.
I think eventually it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I think she's within now. So she's gonna break down the monster within.
And the reason why I asked the first question and the second one is, do you, how do I ask this? Does this story, like, so what I think, before I even ask that,
Okay.
I think Tiffany's going to eventually cash in. When? I don't know. But she's going to cash in and then maybe like betray Nia.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, I finally won the belt. Type of thing. Does that story, will this story, I should say, remind you of something?
This story remind me of anything?
Of
Off the
another story,
top
I should say.
off the top of my head, hold on.
Think about it.
Like recently or like just
Yeah, recently.
in general?
And not like recently, in recent time. Let's see this year.
Recent time. This year?
Yeah.
This year.
Not in it doesn't have to be in WWE.
No, yeah.
Like
Kind of
Tiffany
like
betraying somebody.
the Cole MJF kind of thing. Who you thinking?
Tony Storm and Mariah May. Think
Okay.
about it. Think about it.
Okay.
Like you have two up and coming stars, Mariah May and Tiffany Stratton, using a veteran to get what they want, which is the world title.
Very true.
And I thought of that because I was like, wait.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
thought
put
about,
two
you know
and
what I
two
mean?
together. That's crazy.
Do you think they're copying storylines? I've heard they've tried to copy storylines
I don't
as
know.
of late.
That's actually fucking wild. I never even put two and two together because that makes so much sense. It's kind of basically the same shit.
Pretty much. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. And I'm like,
Wow. What the fuck?
exactly the same. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that when Tiffany betrays Naya, that's gonna be her reasoning that she used Naya to get what she wanted, which was the
Damn,
title.
that's wild. I wonder if that's a thing.
But they're gonna have to change it, I think, a little bit. I guess
Hey, I yeah.
it's
And
been like similar.
maybe it was they kind of had the same idea, and now they better change it if that's the
Yeah,
way they were going.
I know. That's
Because
because I've been.
at least
Oh,
the Tony and Mariah had me interested. With the Tiffany and Nia, I'm like, I'm on the fence about it still. Like, I love Nia, I love Tiffany, but like them together, I don't know.
but it's still too early for that, though. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like this story is just starting between them two.
that is true. Yeah, because it did
Um,
take a while to with the Mariah and Tony.
yeah. So I was like, maybe that's it, and I'm like, wow, because I
Wow.
thought about that because that's what I thought's gonna happen, But then I'm like, wow, why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah, that's
Then I
crazy. I
thought
didn't even
about that.
think of that. That's actually
That could
crazy.
be.
And that
That could happen.
storyline is doing great right now. That's one of my favorite storylines
It
in
is.
AEW right now.
It
That's a
is.
very good storyline. How long has been they've been telling that? A year and a half, or like
I
close to a
think
year?
didn't she debut this year?
Who, Mariah?
Yeah.
Nah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Really? I don't know.
Let's search this up real
Yeah,
quick
I'm gonna look it
because
up
I
on my phone.
feel like it's been a good minute. Let's see.
Hold on.
Maybe I'm talking shit.
Yeah, probably.
I could be
Um,
talking shit.
she made her debut on January 3rd of 2024.
Damn, that's it.
Oh no, sorry, that was her in-ring debut. But
She
I
was
think she
around
might
for a
have.
little bit.
I'm sure she. Let me find that
Yeah.
segment. I know she debuted with RJ City in that segment. November, November.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
for a minute,
Close to a year. Close to a
Yeah,
year. But it's been that storyline for almost a year.
yeah. So yeah, but it's wild though. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily trying to shit on WWE for that, but it's like, you know, it's going to be pretty obvious once that turn comes with Tony Storm to be like,
Yeah. If
oh
it's the
yeah,
same thing, yeah.
yeah. So
That's a bad look, bud. I
yeah,
mean, maybe I'm hoping it's a coincidence. Maybe it's a
yeah.
coincidence.
Maybe they
Like it's
thought of that a
just like
while ago, but it
yeah,
was
it's just
like,
like they needed to put it in. It takes a while to get stuff rolling, but still, they've been doing that since November.
yeah.
When's
But again, we didn't know
Tiff?
that was going to happen though with the heel turn of
That
Mariah
is true,
May.
yeah. But
So
I feel like we kind of knew someday it was gonna happen,
yeah, but
right?
I don't think it was like for me personally. I don't think it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna happen after the Owen Hart Cup. I thought it would happen like at
Okay,
All In, if anything.
got it.
I'm
Okay. Oh
pretty
yeah,
sure
we
a lot
did
of people thought
talk
the same
about
thing.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were like,
So
oh yeah, it'll probably set up for next year. But yeah, wow, damn, that's crazy if they did
I
take that
know, right?
storyline. I mean,
Yeah.
the writers right now in WWE, they, I don't know, like they either it's a home run or that shit's just not hit. You know what I mean? Like it's one
Yeah.
of the two. Also,
Yeah.
the White Six thing. Because right now, I look at the top things right now as the White Six, of course, the Bloodline, and
Yeah.
Judgment Day. Those are the top three stories in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, because that also brings me to another question. I know I'm jumping around here, but Cody won at SummerSlam, but now it's like, what are you gonna do with him? Who he goes
I
up against after this?
I feel like he's
Because
gonna
we
be involved in that War Games match, but with the Bloodline.
Yeah, so I think they need to keep him in there because there's no one for him to face.
There's nothing.
They
Yeah.
they kind of like let him just run over everyone and didn't think because we talked about this. I was like they're digging themselves in a hole with just having Cody run through the whole roster because they're putting themselves in a hole the same way they did with Roman. There was no one for Roman to go up against that was actually like he's gonna beat him.
But I think with Cody being put in this Bloodline storyline would be a good thing for him
Oh no,
because
definitely. It
no,
takes
because
him
it
away from that and it puts him in a big storyline of you know what I mean? That's the biggest storyline in the company. No
yeah, because
matter
like
if you like it or not, it is what it is.
and
Did you
then
hear that
again,
reaction on
yeah,
Saturday?
yeah, and it gets him away from beating everyone on the roster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
He
could
needs to
definitely
be in that
develop other
storyline.
people. You could develop, get time for WWE to develop other people to eventually become credible opponents for him,
Exactly.
like a Carmelo Hayes if he becomes a bigger star,
Yeah.
or if they call up somebody from now until November to be like, all right, this guy is also pretty good,
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, Roman's return, which we kind of skipped over.
Yeah, we're just
Um,
jumping all over the place, but it
yeah,
is what it is. Yeah, that return was insane.
yeah,
Do you know how long they wanted that reaction for Roman? It's been 8 years. They've wanted no since 2014. It's
yeah,
been 10 years. They've wanted that response,
pretty
and it's
much, yeah,
so crazy that now if you look at the timeline, it was only gonna take a 4 year period for people to actually start liking him, but also it had to do with the storyline. So I can't really say like, oh, in 2014, if you gave it till 2018 without shoving him down our throats, we would have liked him. But it shows like if you let it happen gradually with a good story, it would happen.
yeah, yeah,
So it's crazy, and that's the last Vince character.
exactly, and.
He's the
I
It's
agree
crazy.
with you. Like it happened organically, pretty much. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I guess like because I think WWE like Triple H knew that like people weren't going to like. Well, not just because he was a heel, but I think he knew that people weren't going to like Solo as the Bloodline.
Yeah.
So it was like maybe this will probably want people to start chanting and cheering for Roman to be like, we want Roman back to be able to get this babyface Roman back, and it worked.
No,
You know what I mean?
definitely. But also, if you think about it, even at Mania, a lot of people were like, yo, maybe they should just let Roman keep it. Like, there was a lot of people starting to change their mind about Roman. So everybody knew, like, once he comes back, he's got to be a babyface. So
Yeah,
I think the Solo thing just enhanced it even more. That was like, oh man, we need him here.
yeah, we need it. Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
so crazy. Like,
Because the thing is, it's Solo. It's like he has time to get on that level of Roman Reigns. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
To even be a bigger star than he is now. So they don't have to rush with this whole like he's the tribal chief type gimmick. It was cool, yes, and the whole bloodline, the new bloodline, is pretty cool. But Solo has time to get himself on that main event level. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
And he'll, because right now, like, they look like they just placed him there, but he'll deserve it in a little bit. Let him work even more and more, and he'll work his way up to
who
like
knows?
actually get the respect from people.
Maybe in like 3 to 4 years, he'll get that same level of like treatment
Definitely.
as Roman.
Listen, you gotta look at it in this situation. Like, people hate on Solo, but like, think about it. This man was just called up last year. He was never in a big storyline in
2 years
NXT.
ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, this Clash of the Cat, the first Clash.
Oh yeah, okay. Never really had like a big storyline in NXT. Never cut promos here and there. When he got called up, he really was just a muscle. He would just fight. Never cut a promo. For them to put him in that position and for him to actually perform really well, I gotta give him props for that.
Yeah,
Because he's never been in a situation. Because at least, like, if you put like a Carmelo Hayes in that situation, he's been the top guy in NXT. He's been the main event in pay per views over there. So he's kind of got that vibe. Solo's never done any of that. So
yeah,
putting him in this spot, they had to trust him a lot, and I think he did his job.
he did. He did.
He made you hate him. He was supposed to be a fake tribal chief, which that's what he was,
Exactly.
and he sold it. And then he made you want Roman back.
Exactly.
He might be their favorite right now because of what he did. Like, that's putting him in a big spot like that, especially when Cody really didn't have a big rivalry. This was a good thing to do for the summer. Like, for
But
SummerSlam, that was a perfect moment.
yeah,
And they don't get there if Solo doesn't actually, like,
get
if
the
he's
heat
not
that he
good
got.
at this character.
Exactly. Exactly. And they're treating the new bloodline well.
Oh
And
yeah,
they won the tag champs on
tag champs.
Friday.
Yeah.
Um, but it sucks that with I don't know if the injury for Jacob Fatu is real or not. I heard it was like a work.
Yeah, so I saw that too. That it was like, oh, he was supposed to sell it, and then people were like, oh, but he has a boot on. And it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
kayfabe. Like, you never, like, exactly. He was in a gas station and someone stopped him. If he's just walking around chilling, it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta have
Yeah.
the boot on. So I don't know if it is, but if it is a work, shout out Jacob for even walking out with the boot, making it
Yeah.
seem for real. But if it is real, hopefully it's not too crazy.
I know because I kind of want to see him back as soon as possible because they could
Definitely.
definitely use the tag belts. You know the Freebird rule,
Yeah.
which we haven't really seen from a tag team or a faction in a while in WWE. You
Yeah,
know
I think New Day
the
was the
new
last, right?
yeah
Yeah.
New Day. So if anything, Tangaloa could replace him with the tag. I know he has one eye,
Oh man,
um,
how
like
you
because I
miss the
don't think
turnbuckles?
Solo. What happened?
He went right. He was like, all you had to do was push him straight,
He put him on the
and he put him
rope.
on the rope. Like,
Oh God,
listen,
there's
that's
a whole. Like,
I'm
there's a
not a wrestler, but
whole.
that's crazy. Like, that's
Yeah, I know.
wild.
There's a whole compilation of fuck ups that he's done in the last like 2 months. And
Now
I'm like,
the best clip is him and Okada.
oh, the one that
Yeah,
he's like
he's,
smacking the face.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's just slapping his chest.
Yeah, the one at Money in the Bank where he was supposed to low blow Kevin Owens and it took him
Oh,
two tries.
two tries. Yo,
Yeah.
that guy's a mess, man. Oh my
God damn it!
goodness.
I don't know if they're making it into a character now that he's fucking up everything.
Yeah, like,
I don't
because
know.
when I saw that, I was like, come on, like all you had to do was go straight, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But I heard that Hikuleo's supposed to he signed with
Yeah.
WWE, so I hope they bring him in there. Maybe he's like kind of the replacement for Jacob,
Yeah.
or like unless like that's the point of the fake injury. If it is like
Ooh, okay.
Hikuleo
Yeah.
takes his spot and he becomes like the muscle man, the enforcer, then that's where
That.
Jacob gets tight. It's like nah,
Yeah.
I am, and he joins Roman
That could be a thing.
because they need a muscle man too. If you think about it,
Yeah. I mean,
because
they do. Yeah. But if
Solo
they
was
add
it first.
somebody, if they wait, who are you talking about? Roman or Solo?
No, so Roman needs a muscle man
Yeah,
because
but you can't really put any muscle with him because then you fill
he's
out
a
the
muscle.
team. Yeah, you fill out the team because then you can't add Cody to that 4-on-4.
Unless they do 3-on-3-on-3, which
They
I
could do
still
that.
they could definitely do the Rock, Hikuleo, and Jacob Fatu, and
Yeah,
then Roman and the Usos, then Solo and God. So
true. Yeah,
that's 3-on-3-on-3, which I don't want to get too much into the War Games topic, but if they're doing 3-on-3-on-3, right? Usually, what they've done the last 2 years was women get so whatever brand has the men's, the women's get the other
yeah,
match. So if SmackDown, it seems to be SmackDown and Bloodline getting the men's game, the War Games, Raw may get the women's,
yeah.
which the only storyline that I could think of on Raw for the women's is Damage Control,
They're building it
and
up right now. Yeah, they're
yeah,
slowly building it. No one's noticing, but this is gonna be War Games.
exactly. So I think it could be 3-on-3-on-3.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be permanent, but it makes sense for this year to
No,
do it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I'm with that.
so yeah, I just
I
want to say
wouldn't
that.
be mad at that at all. The 3-on-3-on-3. I
Yeah,
I just really can't wait to see how it plays out.
me too. Me too. I'm excited for that.
Definitely.
There's I think there's 3 events in between until War Games. Berlin,
Yeah.
Bad Blood, then
Don't
Saudi.
say it.
I said it. Sorry.
I knew. I,
I
I
said
was
it. I'm
like,
sorry.
wait, there's
That
three.
show. That
And
show.
once when you were like, I was like, fuck, don't say it, man.
Yeah. Because
Damn,
I was trying to think of
Saudi.
what was the name of it. Was it Crown Jewel or is it something
Yeah,
else? But
it
now I'm
was
like,
probably
what?
Crown Jewel, man. Damn, that means they're gonna just put matches on that show just for the fuck of it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same thing.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
Because they
premium.
gotta save that. They gotta save it for Survivor Series.
Oh, of course. That's probably the setup for it. Maybe they'll do
Yeah,
like a one-on-one match for the advantage for War Games
true. Yeah,
or
they could do
Triple
that.
Threat. Um,
Damn,
but
I can't
yeah,
wait for that to play out, man.
Roman's return was awesome.
That was dope.
Um,
That was dope. The
it,
whole
it
that whole card was pretty good.
but the thing
Um,
though about that match though, one thing
what's
that I
up?
didn't like about that one was I know it was Bloodline rules,
Hmm.
supposed to be no disqualification, right? I just didn't like that they waited till Bloodline came out to start using the rules.
Oh, okay, yeah, I feel you.
And it was like you could have just and like, it was a pretty much a one-on-one match until the
Yeah,
Bloodline came out. And it was like you could have used weapons at least in the beginning.
yeah, but yo,
Taking it was
shout
still a
out.
good match.
Oh, definitely, but
Yeah.
shout out Solo. I feel like Solo looked amazing in
Oh,
this
he did.
match.
He did.
That I was like, whoa, okay, here we go. This is the Solo we're looking for.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the
thought
solo
that
we
he
need.
looked really good. Kind of like how I was talking about Priest, that he looked really good. Like who
Yeah.
throws around Gunther like that? Who throws him around like
Exactly.
that?
Yeah.
So when I was seeing that, I was like, of course he's gonna lose, but he's looking great. So like
Yeah.
the same thing with Solo. I was like, I know you're taking this out, but you look awesome.
Yeah. I'm still
But
yeah, it was a great match from start to finish.
yeah,
Um, once Kevin Owens and Randy kind of like took the other two away, I was like, yep, this is what's gonna lead to the return.
yep,
But then the moment itself got a new theme song, which sounds even better.
yeah,
Not better, but it was still just as cool as the old one he had. Um, just the the cheers, the different side of Roman that we're finally seeing, the baby face that we wanted. Well,
yeah.
he still wants his title back. He's made that clear. He could be a tweener in the meantime. We don't know.
Yeah, he
Um,
did have that stare with
Cody. He's like, yeah, I'm coming for you next, or something like I'm getting that
Yeah,
back. I forgot what he said, but it was like he made it clear that he wanted the belt back, which
yeah.
was
I,
made it
I
seem interesting.
and I think they're gonna give that to us at Rumble.
Rumble, okay,
Rumble.
okay. I wasn't gonna say Rumble.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I was gonna think maybe. I was thinking it would be cool to have the War Games match be for the title. The captains get
Hmm.
the title.
Okay.
Like it's for a championship. We've never seen that before.
That
But
is true.
if it's
That's
which
wild though.
yeah, no, it probably doesn't make sense. It's probably too crazy to think about. But if it's not, then I would probably say Bad Blood maybe to kind of like set up for the War Games match.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because he's not finished with
I
Cody, so it's like
I
I'm
think
coming back for you.
if they're not on the same team, if they're doing the 3-on-3, you could do it at Bad Blood.
Maybe that
It,
sets up for Cody to be the last person.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
but I don't know. Do you wait? Do you do that match at just a Bad
But you want
Blood?
to hype up that pay per view though. It's been gone for years, so you
But
probably want to
then
put on the
but
best
then if
card
you have,
possible.
but if you have a Hell in a Cell like they're talking about, who goes last? Championship or Hell in a Cell? Now you got yourself in a little problem.
True. But I don't know because Royal Rumble is interesting to have the match at, but I don't
Cause,
know if that would
cause
actually
my
they would actually do that.
my thought was you have it there at Rumble, and maybe that's where you set up Rock and Roman. If you're gonna do that,
Oh, The Rock comes out. Okay.
if you're doing Rock and Roman, you set it up at Mania with Cody in the ring,
Okay.
because you could have a thing where it's kind of the three of them, but not really, and you could also do on the road to Mania Rock and Cody,
Yeah.
and you think that him and Roman might be for the title, but then it turns out it's not.
Or they could just do like Roman versus Rock, winner faces Cody the next night,
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
I think doing them 3 years in a row is crazy. That's kind of
Ah,
wild.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
only reason I don't see them having like it ending up being at Mania. It has to be before that.
probably.
That's why
I
my
can
thought
see.
was it went straight to Rumble because I was like, by then War Games is settled down. Ain't nothing happening after Survivor Series. Like in that little gap between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, nothing is happening.
Nothing's happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to. Yeah, nothing.
yeah.
Nothing.
They every year if you look at it, that's when they take their that's when they slow everything down, and they just build up to a Rumble, and then after Rumble is the Road to Mania.
Yeah, that is
Then it
true.
starts up fire again.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's smart.
Um,
It's smart the way they do it because they know during that December, Monday Night Football is usually for playoff spots. So they're
but
like,
then
we're
you want
gonna
to set up for
lose
Netflix
viewers.
too. And
Oh,
Netflix
that
coming
is
up.
true. I forgot about Netflix.
Yeah,
That also plays a part. I would put Roman and Cody on the first night.
yeah, do it.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah, man. They go to Raw for one night. Yeah.
Hold up. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. How many months has it taken, Nick? How many months has it taken? When I was watching Raw the other night,
Yeah.
Randy Orton comes out.
So this is the thing. This is the thing.
And then not only Randy Orton, then we have a tag match. And Austin
with
Theory and Lawler are there.
So the thing is, we've technically had a cross brand thing before. CM Punk went to SmackDown like right after the draft happened.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
But that
then
was
you-
more for a promotional reason. They didn't promote like, yo, SmackDown superstar Randy Orton is gonna be on Raw.
Yeah, yeah. And then they also had the Money in the Bank. Everyone was in SmackDown, including Raw superstars.
Yeah,
But that was also a promotion for Money in the
Yeah,
Bank,
for-
which you
for
kind of
Money in
needed
the Bank.
everyone for.
yeah, facts.
This one makes sense. Orton versus Gunther makes like Orton showing up at Raw this week made sense though, because as they said, as they brought up, Triple H wanted this rematch to happen after King and Queen of the Ring. So, Randy Orton's technically his shoulders weren't down. So technically he could have won the match.
You're right.
But I think they're trying to get this feud out the way first. So it won't like people won't be like, wait, what Randy? He didn't lose the match, blah blah blah. So just get it out of the way, Gunther's winning anyways.
I guess, Nick. Now I saw him and I was like, oh, so we just gonna throw this out the window now. It's just that time. And then the Raw graphic came up with his name. I said, oh, we just throwing it out the window. You didn't even give me a SmackDown graphic.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Unless he is traded to Raw.
So this is my theory.
Austin Theory.
Ooh, Austin Theory. A-Town.
No,
Sammy and Jay.
for Orton
We're
and
talking
8 count out under.
about we're talking backstage about how he's gonna go and have one more match against Bronson and try to get his belt back, and then they're gonna be double champs because they're gonna go after Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going after Judgment Day. I think they're gonna get traded and they're gonna go for the SmackDown tag belts.
Oh, and they're gonna be like, yeah,
I think low key that was the trade. I think it doesn't happen now. It happens down the road.
yeah, maybe like.
I think he has the match with Bronson. You can't just throw him over there without having the rematch.
Yeah,
That's why I feel
yeah.
like that's why they announced the rematch with Braun. I don't know why I keep saying Bronson with Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I just think Braun and I think Bronson. I don't know why.
Bronson
Which
Reed,
that
that's
was
why. Yeah.
that was even don't even get me started on that. But yeah, like so I think that might be the wave. I think he's gonna lose to Braun and then move over.
Possibly.
I think that's the way to do it for if you're trying to get them over there for War Games.
Yeah, maybe what they do in the beginning of Raw next week, it's like, yeah, we traded for Orton, but we still haven't decided yet, like, on who we're sending over from Raw. Maybe they say 8-Town Down Under 2, it'd be like, we don't know who we're, it's a long process.
Why I thought they were gonna go for them. It was just gonna be a swap.
And then maybe like at the end after the show, it's like, you know what? Nick Aldis wants you, Sammy, and Jay in return for Orton and Theory and Waller.
Would be sick.
And it's like, oh shit, like that's how you end Raw. It's like by that.
Yeah,
and it's
now
like,
Friday is must see.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They don't like play off each other with Raw and SmackDown. I get it. You're supposed to be in competition with the other brand, but like, make me want to see SmackDown from Raw.
Yeah, that is true. But I guess so.
Like,
but it's like,
have they announced Roman for SmackDown? Is he gonna be there? Okay.
Yeah, they didn't see it on Raw, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't you promote that? Why didn't you, when you showed the clip, say, "Yo, don't forget Friday night"?
Yeah,
Roman's back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they act like they're really in competition with
yeah, that is
Makes
true.
No sense. But yeah, I was like, I saw that and I was like, and then I saw that backstage segment. I was like, they might be moving them over.
Probably, but I think they're doing it slowly instead of doing all that in one night. Instead of announcing everything like, oh shit, wait, Orton's here, but then Sammy's gone. They're trying to make us process everything first before they do it.
To be honest, they should send out alerts when they do stuff, like kind of like how ESPN, when you get an alert and it says, "Yo, this player was traded." Send an alert to ESPN. Let me get a text that says, "Yo, Randy Orton was traded from SmackDown to Raw. Find out from who. Click the link." You know what I mean? Like,
maybe they'll address it on SmackDown. Maybe Randy will be there and be like, "Yeah, I kind of want to be a Gunther. That was a big issue since May, whenever it happened."
So Randy wasn't even my issue. It was Austin Theory and Grayson. Because Randy, I get, because you're doing an international show. You kind of need a big name for Gunther to go against.
Yeah.
On Raw, Rollins is hurt. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one for him to really go against that doesn't hurt them. Because you can't do Punk. Because anybody that goes against him got to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you needed a big star like that.
No, yeah.
So it made sense with Randy. It was like, okay. And then now, like, you brought back the King of the Ring. I was like, you're right. That makes perfect sense. But Theory, wow. I was like, what
that pissed me off too
here?
a little bit. I was like, that got me tight.
Like, and then it wasn't until I saw that clip with Uso and Sammy, and I was like, ooh, they might be trading them.
That would be a good thing, though.
It would.
You know what I mean? Good thing. That would be sick to do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a bad story.
Yeah, it makes Survivor Series easier to book because now you don't have to have Jay as a Raw superstar come over. He's already a SmackDown superstar now.
Yeah. And eventually we see Jimmy return whenever that happens.
Because Jimmy was never drafted.
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so you could throw him right on SmackDown.
And it makes sense. Naomi's on SmackDown, so why would you split them up? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would probably make the more logical sense. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be one person for one person. It could be, in trades in other sports, it's like you don't get like an even amount of players.
No, yeah, exactly. Trade
so
NXT guys too. Why not?
Yeah, true. Maybe like a first round pick.
Got a scout. Yeah, got our top prospect.
Yeah, or it could be like, hey, we allow you to get the next call up. Be like, wherever you want to choose from NXT, we got you.
That's
But
actually
that'd be sick
fire.
to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of annoyed me too with Waller in Theory. I'm like, Rowan, that makes sense at least.
Yeah.
But Austin Theory and Waller, like, just
Yeah.
because they had a 2 second stare down with Jelly Roll and Awesome Truth at
Yeah.
SummerSlam, like, come on, that match didn't need to happen.
No,
It
no
did not need
shot.
to happen.
No shot. And I don't know. I guess they're not really doing anything on SmackDown anyway.
I guess
It's
so.
like, oh well, we're already talking about tag teams. The big news this week, Lucha Bros might be on their
Lucha
way to
Bros, yes.
WWE. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, they did their time in AEW.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't like they were
5 years.
treated. Yeah,
5 years.
5 years. It wasn't like they were treated poorly over there.
Nah.
If it was, then that would be a different story. It'd be like, oh, they wasted talent, blah blah blah. But they actually got treated fairly. You know, they were
Yeah.
former tag champs, former trios champs. Ray Phoenix won the international championship, so they were booked well over there. And I think if they end up signing with WWE and going there, it's a fresh new scene for them to be like, this is something different. Um, we want to advance in the business instead of being just, two guys who are veterans in AEW. We want to elevate our careers and see where else we got and who else we can face. So if they go there, awesome, good for them.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm excited to see what they can do there. Even though their tag team division isn't the best, it's still cool to see them there. Hopefully they can succeed over there.
Yeah. Hopefully they put a little fire into that tag division. Hopefully they help that out. To be honest, I would have just signed Phoenix, but that's just me.
I mean, that's the thing too, because like
I would have used them as solo stars. I wouldn't even use them as a tag team
because
anymore.
we spoke about Motor City Machine Guns like 2 weeks ago or something,
Yeah.
and I remember saying there it's like they can be used as single stars too. Like
Yeah.
they don't have to be just attacking the entirety of their career. Maybe most of it, but I feel like eventually they'll go on their own without having to do a heel turn and just have them do solo stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah,
one year, one of
definitely.
them will get drafted to different brands, and it's like, all right, let's see what they could do solo.
Yeah.
Then
And
reunite.
WWE's got to learn, like, you don't need to break everybody up.
Exactly.
You could just let them be friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or brothers. You don't gotta break anybody up. They always love to break people up. But they're coming with that like news with them signing. We talked about a couple weeks ago, Motor City.
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to do something, but I don't know how everybody else is feeling about it. Did you see Montez's post last week?
I did not.
Okay, so he had a whole post on Instagram about the tag division. So it was promoting the match for that Friday. Let me just open it real quick so I could read you the caption if it's still up. Here we go. I'm gonna read it to you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It says tonight's WWE SmackDown is a tag team turmoil match for a chance to face the tag team champions. ... Space, and I'm tired. Tired of being denied, tired of waiting, tired of fighting, tired having company around that don't care, tired of the world not knowing who we are, tired of every version of the bloodline, tired of not being a champion. We've lost a lot this year from family members and even up to our own leader this week, talking about Lashley and MVP, but we're not fucking losing tonight. So tonight on God, I wake up, you wake up, and the world will know our names once again. And then it's the motherfucking Street Profits, da 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 da. How do you feel about that? Because I read that and I was like, there's a lot of truth behind that. Maybe it was for character, but I think there was a lot of truth behind that post.
Because the first thing I thought of was a heel turn that must be happening soon. I think they're gonna go full heel, and down the line, maybe this year they'll win the tag belts.
But I feel like, aren't they kind of heels now?
I mean, they were supposed to be heels, but people started cheering for the trio, and then they got everything put back to being a babyface. So at the moment, they're kind of like more a babyface.
I mean, maybe that's why he's tired.
Yeah. I
tough.
hope they do something, because maybe with all these new additions, that they do bring in Motor City and that they do bring in the Lucha Bros, that would be great. I don't, I wouldn't necessarily say have them put over the new tag teams, but like it's cool to see them. They're doing something with the tag division to make it more interesting, more competition.
Yeah.
Um, the Street Profits are so underrated, and they should have been more like, have won more tag belts. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
1,000%. But
Um,
also, I don't know what he's still doing in a tag team.
I kind of want him in the tag team still. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, like it's cool, but like
Maybe that's
there was a
maybe that's
time
something.
that he was getting a lot of reaction and they did
He was.
nothing with it. And it was him getting the reaction. And you could have let him do solo stuff. He did get a match against Roman, I think. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
So he
something like
did
that.
at that time, and that was cool. But like they never did anything else. And like you didn't have to break them up. You could let them do their solo stuff. You could let him go after the belt and Dawkins for like the ICUS. You know what I mean? Like you could
Yeah,
did different things. But I thought this was all gimmick, and then I saw every version of the Bloodline. I was like, oh, okay, he's funny. And then I saw losing family members, even up to our leader this week. I was like, okay, there's now I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like there's a little truth behind all this stuff.
Yeah. I hope they get something different to be like, okay, we're now taking them serious.
Yeah,
Because yes, like the thing Bobby was kind of confusing to be like it was supposed to be heel, but then people loved them and
yeah,
now we don't know what to do with them. It's just now it seems like Bobby's leaving and it's like now this is the time to focus on the Street Profits, the profits that Triple H helped with in NXT.
yeah.
So he knows how to book them. Now he's got to actually book them and know what to do with them instead of just like throwing them out there and be like, yeah, you're just gonna be put people over and for no reason. They should go on a win streak. They should eventually be the ones to take the tag titles off of the Bloodline.
They
Um,
should. They should because like I saw this graphic. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed because I was like, I don't know who I would give these belts to. I was like, it has to be the Bloodline, just like it has to be because of the storyline base.
yeah,
But I looked at all the teams. And I was like, I don't see any of these guys really like winning a belt. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
I guess
just
so.
they just really like stop caring for that division, which sucks. Like
I mean, now
I
I
love
hope,
tag team wrestling, man.
yeah, now I hope that like with this addition of the Lucha Bros, it's like you're not just like signing these people just to sign them. You got to actually know how to book them,
Yeah, but
and
also who are they gonna go against?
that's also the thing. You got to
That's
start building
also
up your
another. You
tag
got
teams again.
you gotta start caring about your tag team. Why is the club the way they are? Why aren't they running shit? Why aren't teams scared of them?
And where's AJ
Like,
too? That's
wh-
also a thing. I don't know.
don't even get me
SmackDown is not the
started.
best brand right now, and it's like,
No, they really. It's tough. It's tough.
yeah,
Like I know there's a lot of bright sides on WWE, but it's tough on SmackDown.
yeah, it
The
is.
only the highest point is the Bloodline.
That's really it. And Cody's involved with that too, so it's
Yeah,
like, what else can you do? Like, I don't know who writes for which brand, but I think whoever's writing for Raw should go to SmackDown for a bit because they need it,
yeah,
and that's a shorter show.
yeah.
It's 2 hours. You can, I don't know, I'm not a writer, but it could be easier to write for SmackDown if it's
I
2 hours over
I would
Raw, 3.
I would think it is because you don't
Yeah,
have to fit so much in. That's why there's so many like long segments on Raw
yeah,
because you gotta fill up the time.
exactly. And I don't know. I just feel like nothing's really like sparked my interest
No,
as of late.
I could care less about SmackDown. I'll watch the highlights. You know what I mean? It's not a show that like I need to watch live. I'm gonna watch live tomorrow because of Roman. But
Yeah,
like even Roman is a little tough. You know what I mean? Like giving me Roman every week, but just Roman and nothing else is not gonna make me keep tuning in.
yeah, that is true.
They gotta do something, man.
But
Especially if you're gonna do something with the tag division, you gotta start building all of them guys on SmackDown up.
oh, of course, yeah. Because the
Like
thing is,
all of
though,
them.
like I was thinking about it too. Like between both shows, obviously Raw is, in my opinion, the better show to watch. But
Right now, yeah.
SmackDown, yeah, yeah, but SmackDown has the better tag teams.
Yes.
So I get it. Like if you're bringing in tag teams like the Motor City Machine Guns and Lucha Bros, I would put them on SmackDown. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like again, it's not the best show to watch. So will signing these guys and putting them on that show could potentially
Hurt
make
them.
it a must see show to
I
see like,
mean,
oh,
yeah, that is true. It might, because
might
again, they don't have anybody to go against. Now, if you build up the teams and got people for them to go against, that is actually exciting.
they could do that. They
Then
have time.
yeah, they definitely got time, and they built people from worse. You know what I mean? Like from
Yeah.
nothing. So like these teams already got built around them. You just gotta start treating them right.
Especially if the Usos reunite. Oh my god. Like that
I
like that's
mean,
gotta be a lot of
that's
like
gonna be
dream
dope.
matches.
Getting the Usos versus the Lucha Bros. That's gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
oh,
But like,
oh god.
that's the only match. Like the same thing I said about Motor City. There's not like, wow. I said the same thing for them. It's only the Usos. That's like, oh, that's a dream match right there. There's no other tag team that's like, oh, I really need to see the Lucha Bros
But then
versus
you could
them.
really see Motor City versus the Lucha Bros, but I'm pretty sure we've seen that
Oh
already.
yeah,
Um
I'm sure they've fought each other already.
yeah, but then it also makes it on paper look strong too. But then that leaves Raw without many tag teams.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like
that's
they
why you
gotta
guys start building tag teams in NXT.
yeah. I
You
don't really
like
know many in NXT at
what
the
you
moment,
gotta
to be honest.
do. Yeah, me either. What you gotta do is sign tag teams that are gonna help NXT. Sign the
Yeah.
Hardys. Let them come in and do a couple shows with NXT. Have them go after the belts. Um, let Motor City debut down there.
I was gonna say the Rascals, but they also split up on Tuesday.
That's also another thing that was a stupid call. Like that
Yeah.
was wild. Like I get it, but like that was bad. That was a bad call.
Yeah, I knew something was happening when Trey Miguel was crying before the match ended. I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
no.
like, man. Yeah, that was a bad call. But
But,
like,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's one of
But
those mistakes.
I hope the Lucha Bros and like Motor City, that's like a wake up call to
Yeah, I hope they
book the
get
tag
yeah
division better.
bring some spark to it.
Exactly. And I don't know why he doesn't like tag team wrestling coming from a tag team guy, a tag team specialist, for some part of his career. He would want to book it better, right? I guess someone like Triple H.
But we gotta remember, he was trained by a certain person, and that certain person did not care about tag teams. Did not, and we saw that for years. Vince didn't care about it.
Yeah.
So they were making all this money, and your tag division still shit. Why do I need to build it? No one really cares about it. No one's complaining.
Maybe now that's why he's signing these names because like maybe he realizes like shit. I
Maybe,
mean,
yeah,
what can I do with these guys? But it's not much, you know.
yeah.
But
Because even
yeah,
like the DIY moment, cool. It was awesome. But I was even like, they gave him the belts, and that made sense
on
with the
why,
way
yeah,
everything went down. I was like, that's crazy that they did that.
yeah,
That's
like
actually
3 or 4 weeks. I'm like Jesus Christ.
that's wild. And
I
those are Triple H guys.
yeah, that's even worse.
He released Gregory and then resigned him.
Yeah,
Gave him a belt for 3 weeks and took it away.
I mean, uh,
It's crazy. It's
it is
crazy.
crazy. It is.
It's this is why I still question Triple H's booking.
I guess his reasoning is like they didn't want to have like heels taking the belts off of heels, so they kind of gave it to them in the meantime to hold to have to lose it to the bloodline, I guess.
I don't
Um,
know, man.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean neither. But it's like I hope it's not like it feels like a hot potato
Yeah,
type tag team.
that's what is kind of the bad thing about it.
Yeah, and I hope they don't take the bloodline's title off because of Jacob's injury. I hope to keep it on to at least War Games.
Oh yeah, you have to
Um,
because you gotta give us them versus the Usos.
exactly,
It has to happen, man.
exactly. At least until November, until
Yeah, that's a good
Crown
run.
Jewel.
Yeah, that's a
To
good run.
yeah, that's not bad.
It's what 4
Um,
months
say
or three?
September, October,
3 months?
November, 3,
3 months.
about 2 or 3 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
not bad. It's been the same length as Waller in theory, but It's not bad of a run.
Yeah, but also you're in a bigger spotlight than them.
Yeah, that is true. That is
No,
true.
like they won it at Mania, it was cool, and then after that, did we really see them that much?
Not really.
They came
No.
out and did segments. We saw a lot of segments from them.
Yeah,
I'll say that we
but
saw a lot of segments from them.
they just didn't know what to do with them. It was like, okay, now
Yeah,
you're heels. You won the
yeah.
belts. Now what?
It was something that caught fire for a little bit and it worked, and then they just didn't know how to capitalize on it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was one of those situations. But I don't even know how you capitalize that either. So
But it's like
I just thought it
you
was a cool
needed.
moment when they won it.
Yeah, it is. You just needed to have. I feel like they got to a point where it's like they needed to take the belt off of them
Yeah,
to avoid like avoid it getting worse
true.
down
That
the
does
line.
make sense. That
And
does make sense.
seeing it's kind of the reason why I feel like they took the title off of Bailey too. It's like
Yeah.
I love Bailey, but it's like, was it the best title reign? Not really. And I guess like they
I
caught
get
on. It's
it.
like people weren't liking it,
Yeah.
and
But
it's
again,
like,
look at SmackDown, bro. Like you giving her nothing to work. You know what I mean? Like
but now
it's
because
tough. You didn't even give her a big storyline. At least Liv and Rhea have this fire storyline that's been going on for years. You know what I mean? Like they have a backstory. They're giving her like month to month storylines. I get
yeah.
it. Her and Nia had history, but like how many times are you gonna bring up that history? Because
But
they've
the
done it
thing
a
is,
lot.
though, Mike last week brought up a good point. To it's like if you have Nia win, it's like you get fresh new people in the title picture that haven't been in a while. Like you get to
Yeah,
have her Nia versus Jade, Nia versus Bianca, Nia versus Naomi.
yeah.
Um, it gives a couple of months worth of title reigns.
No, yeah,
Even
it
if she
makes
has,
sense.
even if you have the rematch at Berlin, it's like now after that you have an extra couple months to work with.
Yeah,
And eventually Tiffany would probably cash in. Um, and then yeah, so I think that are probably best for Nia to win it. But in terms of the tag team belts, it was like, Waller and
yeah,
Theory weren't doing well anyways. Just take it off of them.
yeah. You had to make that move.
Yeah, it's not the easiest move for them to do, but they had to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, when something's not working, it's like we gotta move on. You
yeah,
can't just
exactly,
wait for it to work.
exactly.
If
So
you wait for it to work, it's a situation.
it
It's a
starts to
bad
go even
situation.
more down. You just they're gonna
Yeah,
dig yourself a hole. It's like now you can't get out of it. Um,
exactly. And you're hurting even the superstar because then they're digging themselves in a hole.
exactly. Yeah, they tried their best. They did what they had to do. Now it's time to move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, Lucha Bros signing. What are your thoughts? Did you say your thoughts on Lucha
No,
Bros
yeah, I
signing?
think it's cool. I'm excited. Like I said, like I can't wait to see what they do there. I do hope they let them do solo stuff as well without
Yeah,
breaking them up. Like just let them do both. People could do both. Like it doesn't hurt. So like let them do that. I think that's a good addition. And like you said, it did 5 years at AEW. Like that's what a lot of people like. Oh, I leave it AEW to. They did 5 years, bro. Like
yeah.
that's a while with one company. I
And they
just did
had one
five
of
years with
the
my job, and I'm like, do I still have it, man? I'm about to be out of here.
yeah.
So I
and
get it. I
and
get it.
they had one of the best tag matches they could have had there.
Yeah,
So
there was the situation that I looked at. There was nothing left for them.
exactly, and it's like people are they're probably thinking that like, they're a tag team that were underutilized. They weren't. They were perfectly utilized.
They were
You
on
know,
TV a lot,
a lot, and
a
did their own
lot.
thing. Even when Pac was not there, they were killing it.
Yeah.
Um, Here's one thing that I may add.
Uh oh.
In terms of it, because I thought about it the other day.
Okay.
Because like now, right, you had Alex Abrahantes
Yeah.
with them, right? Say what you want about Alex. No, you don't like Alex. He's not
That's
your
why I
guy.
stood quiet. That's why I stood quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Because
happy he's
like
not gonna be on my TV no more. I'll say that.
no, because I feel like they added him on as a manager. Their English is okay. It's not bad of English,
Mm,
but would they have them go out by themselves, right? Or are they going to get a manager?
yeah.
Now, there's someone out there they can pick up they can sign. That has history with not just them, but another person in WWE. I think it would be cool if they signed Jose the assistant and have him be the manager for the Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Um, I don't know how we barely seen Jose the assistant talking to AEW,
Yeah,
so I don't know how like his promo work is good or not,
that is
but
true. Yeah.
it's something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's cool to see. Align them with Andrade and make it like the new Paul Heyman.
That
He's
is true.
attracting
Yeah.
the Spanish talent without calling them the LWO.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
cause I was gonna say when the Lucha Bros get into WWE, I will give them 6 months before they're wearing an LWO shirt.
Ah,
Cause that's just
God.
where they throw all of them. Triple H is like Hispanic, yeah, get with them, bud. Here's a shirt.
Yeah. No, I think I mean if he checks social media often, I think he should know by now that like people mock that now.
Yeah, that was. They keep doing it. It's like just break
And
that group up already. Like it's
I know.
at this point. At first, it was cool. Now it's just cringe. Like I don't even like the LWO. And I was a
Zelina
big fan of the
Zelina's
LWO.
doing stuff on her own. We haven't even seen Ray with her in a while.
Yeah,
Um,
Ray, he's something else.
unless like Ray becomes a manager and he starts talking for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I
Again,
can't take Ray
without the
serious as a
LWO stuff.
manager. I can't take him serious as a
But
manager.
he's a lovable guy though. People love him. So
Yeah, I
I
guess
guess so.
that's
But
true. I don't know. I don't know how I would look at him as like a manager.
I
Dude, does he
think
wear his mask or no?
oh yeah, yeah. Him wearing a suit and a mask that matches the suit.
That's fire. That's
That's
fire.
the
Got the
uh,
matching. Yo, that's fire. Yeah, make him a
yeah,
manager now.
yeah,
Now I need to see it.
yeah. I mean, he customizes his mask, so I'm assuming he could
Yeah,
probably
that's what I'm
find
saying.
somebody.
Yo, listen, when he gets that Louis Vuitton on, that
Yeah,
Gucci, and gets
yeah.
his matching suit, it's over.
He wore that Padres mask once. I'm like, damn, that's fire.
Yeah. As
Yeah,
much as I hate the Padres, that was fire.
that was cool. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that'd be
Shout
cool to
out
see.
Rayman. But yeah, getting the assistant would actually be dope. That would be cool
That
to
would be
add like
yeah,
a. We don't have a lot of managers in
yeah.
WWE.
And then I
Like
think that would be a good one to sign.
yeah, I think that's dope. We have a. I'm trying to think like in WWE. There's a lot of valets.
Like, what do you mean?
Like you got women. Like you
Oh
have.
yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah,
valets. There's more valets than managers. I feel like there's only Paul Heyman. It was Paul
yeah.
Heyman and MVP.
But then MVP. I mean, what are you gonna do with Omos now too? But that's a whole other story. Um, but like, yeah, I think Jose
I
the
don't know what you do
assistant.
with him.
I think he's someone that you don't really need to have
He's an
promos with.
attraction. He's an
Yeah,
attraction.
you just see a 7-footer like
Yeah.
killing it.
You bring him out for the Saudi shows and then you put him away when you don't need him.
You put him away. It's
Which
not
is foul, but that's what they do. Like it's
they
crazy.
pretty much yeah.
Yeah.
But you can have Jose the assistant manage Stephanie Vacour. Also a good one to put him against. And he starts his own like
give me a little
family.
AAA faction.
Yeah, but kind of, but yeah, not really, but yeah. But he's again,
Oh
he's
yeah,
like
because she
the
was here
Spanish.
about.
Attracted, not really the LWO. You know, maybe he tries to recruit Dragon Lee to be like, yo. It's kind of like Paul Heyman,
He
but
gets
not
like
a
the
faction.
luchadors. He gets the
Yeah,
luchadors.
like we see him on Raw with Dragon Lee every week. We see him
Yeah.
on SmackDown with the Lucha Brothers. We see him on
That would
NXT with Stephanie Vacour.
I'm down
Eventually,
with that.
they'll regroup and be on the same brand.
Yeah, that'd be actually
So
fire.
that
What do
would
you
be
do with her when she comes? Do you throw her into the main roster, or do you throw her into NXT first?
NXT for a couple months. She has to get used to the WWE system. So I'm not gonna say like give her maybe a year, up to a year. I don't. I mean, it'll be cool if she won the NXT Women's Championship, but not every person that comes through has to win it.
Yeah.
It seems like Julia might be the first one up against Roxanne, which might be the first one to win it. I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't want her to delay the process of her being on the main roster,
No, yeah,
just so that
definitely.
way Julia could have her run, and then Stephanie beats her for it, and it's like, nah, an NXT talent should win it off of Julia to make it better.
Yeah, but that's been their system. That's always their system. You win the title, when you lose it, you move up, you come back for the rematch, and then you're gone. Like that
Yeah,
was always the thing. You know what
yeah,
I mean? That was the system. You lose, you go to the main roster, you come back for the rematch for the next takeover, you lose, and you're gone forever.
yeah. I
So
know.
maybe they're going back to that.
Oh God, I
Maybe
hope
they're
not.
going
That
back to
was
the 1 year with the big names that they're like, you gotta come in, you gotta reign hell, you gotta win the belt, you gotta lose it, and you gotta move up.
technically they have two women's belts. So one of them, I think Stephanie McCourt could win the North American women's belt, and that could be her time. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I mean, I know it's a mid card belt. And I understand it might not look good for her to win it, but it's
that's not
something.
no, that's not a bad look. I think that's dope.
And
I
it's
think that
like
would be cool. I mean,
now
seeing
that
her
that
just win a belt would be awesome.
yeah. So that way she doesn't have or require to win the women's belt.
Yeah.
Um, but who knows? We shall see with that.
Now you have facts.
Another thing that happened last week. Big news that happened. Um, someone snapped a photo of a meeting between TK and Shane McMahon.
Oh my god, I
Um,
forgot about that. Yeah.
I know I have to remember that last
Yeah.
minute, but
Shout out TK, man.
what do you think is going on between them? Do you think they're going to lead to Shane going into AEW?
I don't know. I think if Shane does, he will be a backstage guy. I don't see him as coming in and wrestling. I could also see him as a authority figure
Probably.
on TV. Him being the TK on TV. I think
Y-
that's a thing. I don't think he's coming into wrestle. I know a lot of people saying that. I also think he might be doing backstage work. Maybe giving advice, giving you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but I don't know. A lot of people were like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. I was like, we'll see what happens, man. Like, shout out to Shane because they're like, in I know the last couple of years people have trashed him, but Shane is a smart guy, man. Shane, if Vince actually did a lot of the stuff that Shane wanted to do, not even just wrestling, but the whole world of combat would probably look different.
Probably.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like his idea of buying ECW and then deciding, hey, years later, yo, you know what you should do? Put them online. And Vince was like, nah, put them on TV. And he was like, nah, online they could keep doing ECW stuff. And he said, nah, put it on TV and look at what happened to ECW.
Yeah.
He also told Vince I think it was 06, 07, you should buy the UFC. And Vince is like, why would I buy the UFC?
Yeah.
Who just bought WWE? The same
Exactly.
company
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
owns the UFC. So listen, you could shit on Shane. Oh, he was a backstage part. I don't know. I think he took the blame for that Rumble. That whole
I
thing that they
mean,
were like he booked it. I think he took the blame. I don't think it was his fault.
yeah, it wasn't the best Rumble to be booked in. It was just if he wanted to book himself, he could have made the others look
But
good
I don't
and
think
made
he
it.
booked himself. If you look at it, the people that he fought, right? Who was
Yeah.
he attacking?
He was attacking mainly Riddle. I think he went up against Riddle.
Yeah, it
Um,
wasn't like I think like he was doing a lot, but I get it. Like you're the owner's son. And it
yeah,
probably wasn't Shane. It was probably Vince. Hey, make sure my son looks good out there.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Shane just took the backlash of it because WWE saw how the internet reacted and was like, "Oh yeah, Shane booked it. Shane wanted himself to be over."
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think he just took the this thing of it. So like all that aside, I think Shane is a smart man. If he is getting into business with TK, it's for a reason. He's you know what I mean? He's smart
yeah,
and that means that there's an idea out there that he's very interested in. He's just not taking this meeting for shits and giggles.
yeah. If anything, like I think he will have some type of on-camera time or an on-camera figure for a while at first.
Yeah.
Um, eventually, maybe, yeah, definitely, he's definitely going to do like a lot of backstage work. That's primarily why he's talking to them, I think. But I think eventually, like at first, again, he's probably gonna. You can't just say you signed Shane and then just not like have him be featured on TV.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of wrestling, definitely not. I don't think he'll be wrestling.
No.
Maybe he'll like be like the new like the CEO or not even the EVP. Maybe they make him an EVP that he fires the Young Bucks. It's like I brought in a new EVP, and that's Shane. You know, Daniels is the interim, so he's not really an official,
Yeah.
EVP. But that could be a great storyline to bring Shane in. Like if you want to see an actual authority figure, Shane would be a great guy to do that.
Yeah.
He would kind of be like a general manager. He'll be booking
Yeah.
every match every week, which is
Exactly.
something we don't really see on TV in AEW as a general
No.
manager.
They
So
need
that,
that, especially now that they're
yeah,
starting to be more story. We talked about this recently, that this being more storyline heavy, and I
yeah,
appreciate they trying. I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's just because I watch them for the wrestling,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
appreciate that they are at least trying. They're listening to their fans, something that WWE takes a lot of nagging to get them to do something.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it takes a while. So shout out to them for at least trying. But I do see if he does come on to be on screen, it makes sense because now that they're more storyline based, they need a person to look to. And
hmm,
I think they could do a storyline with him buying TK shares or something. So
yeah,
he now owns more than, you know what I mean? Or maybe Kenny gives up his share for Shane and they do something like that, that now he overrides the Young Bucks and he makes the decisions. So if it does happen, that's interesting. If he's there for backstage stuff, I think that's also interesting because
yeah,
he brings a lot to the table. I look at, like, a lot of people like to look at the negative. You gotta look at the positive. All
exactly,
these
yeah,
ideas he had for WWE. He left WWE on his own, went to Japan and became a CEO of a company. How the fuck did he
yeah.
do that? I could not tell you, but
What
he's
company?
smart if he could do that. I don't know, some tech company. It was
Oh,
like, yeah, and then he sold it. Shane is a smart guy. Also, he was the guy sitting in all those meetings with a certain someone because he was supposed to be the guy that was gonna be the next in line to take the company. So I'm
yeah,
sure he has a
yeah,
lot of knowledge on that side too.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
so if TK is looking for him and he's actually having meetings with him, that's interesting because now I wonder where things go from here.
Yeah.
Like, do they
Um,
get more storyline? But you know what I mean? Like,
I, I,
it's
I,
interesting.
I think it'll be a little bit different. I don't think they're gonna be like a whole like
No,
change in the
it's not
company.
gonna be a whole revamp. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we'll see like maybe Collision will be mainly storyline wise,
yeah,
and also get wrestling. Maybe Dynamite will stay the same, and Tony Khan runs that. Maybe Shane runs,
yeah,
Collision, and then again, that's mainly the stories that we see. If you want to watch a storyline, you watch it on Saturday nights.
yeah,
If you watch it on Wednesdays, you get the wrestling, and you just get whatever the same old stuff we've been getting. So that way, it's fair and it's different for everybody instead of watching basically two Dynamites a week,
yeah.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing,
No, yeah,
you know, but it's like it's different. You're not watching the same thing every single time,
yeah.
like twice a week, because they're not at the moment. They don't have brand splits, so you're seeing a
No,
lot of the same people on both shows.
exactly. Yeah,
So it's going to be a little different that way. Um, so yeah, we shall see because that is a
yeah.
pretty interesting thing.
Yeah,
The
because I wonder, you know what I mean? Like if the like I talked about, if it does happen, like what's the changes that are gonna be happening? You know what I mean? It'll happen slowly, but it's interesting to think about, like how he might look at things, and maybe him and Tony's brain together
will create
could
something.
create
Yeah,
something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because I know, like, a lot of people are sharing on AEW right now, but they're about to pass Nitro. They're about to
they
be
are.
older than WCW Monday Night Nitro.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That is
That's
crazy.
crazy. Like, and I get it. Like, their ratings aren't the best, but they did make a company change to a different night because of them, and that's a
Yeah,
lot to say. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, even though they're not a lot, they made that happen
And they
for a
started off
company who
strong.
changed to that night because of that.
Yeah, then they
That's
started off
crazy.
strong. They made a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yes, the arenas aren't as packed as they were, but
but
they're
the shows are
still,
still quality.
yeah,
Like, the
shows are
shows
still
are
good.
great, and I
They're
don't
still,
understand why people aren't going. The tickets are amazing.
I know,
You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like, WWE's charging an arm and a leg to go to the
Yeah,
show. And I get it, you're a $1 billion company. But whoa, like, let me at least go without not feeling bad about it.
exactly.
You buy
Yeah,
a ticket and then you're sitting there and you're like, damn. Like, I told you when I went to Mania, I only went because the ticket I was gonna buy for because my brother was buying me tickets and he was gonna
Yeah.
like surprise me with Monday Night Raw, and he was like, it was just $100 difference to go to Mania. And I was like,
Yeah.
and we had great seats. I was like, $100 difference, yeah, do Mania. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it just made sense. So like it's tough. Like I don't understand how the shows are empty, but I get it. They're in a little rut right now with the attendance wise, but also we gotta look at it this way: they're a 5-year-old company, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna have up and downs. Look at WWE. Do you think when Diesel was champion, look at those small ass arenas? They could
Exactly.
barely
Yeah.
fill up Manhattan Center, and that's a small ass arena. Now they could pack that for days and days and days. But
Yeah.
like every company is gonna go through shit. They had
Exactly.
to. It was basically they're in their new generation phase right now. That like nobody's really paying attention, but like a lot of shit's gonna come out from it. Like a lot of people are trashing. Like we talked about this recently too. That was like people are trashing matches, but a couple years ago, look back at MJF and Osprey and be like, that was actually a dope match.
It
Kind of
was.
like how
Yeah.
WWF fans that were like, really WWF look at like Sting and Flair. It was like, whoa, why wasn't I watching at this time?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
saying that they're on the same level, but like the appreciation of wrestling, you're not gonna have it till later on.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, it's just the quality of wrestling is still good. You
Yeah,
know, they just have to. That's the only thing. They're not getting a lot of tickets. Pay per
yeah,
views is another thing. Pay per views they still sell out a good crowd. They
yeah.
still get
The
a
pay
lot
per
of
views are
buys
selling
for that.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
The only problem
Wembley's
is the attendance.
exactly. That's really it. It's
And
really
then
it. The
Wembley,
thing,
I think they have like a good amount, right?
yeah, I think they have a good amount. I don't know if it's as much as last
I don't
year's,
think
but
it's sold
that's
out. Yeah.
yeah,
Which, come on, the first one is always gonna be the best one. Why you don't think WrestleMania is in the same place every year?
exactly. Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it makes sense that they're gonna sell less. But yeah, hopefully, I'm excited for the show.
Me too.
For oh man,
All
oh
in's gonna
man,
be
yo, right
which
now to be a wrestling fan is so awesome.
I know. It is a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of pay-per-views happening in a row. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pay-per-views happening in the fall specifically. There's a lot of wrestling happening, which is
Yeah.
pretty fucking fun. Um,
Oh, I do have a question for you, real quick. Um, TNA.
yeah.
How are you feeling about the partnership between TNA and WWE?
Um, I think it's fine. You know, I understand people are complaining that like NXT is getting all the guys and girls from TNA, and TNA isn't really getting anybody in return. But what do you expect? It's NXT. There are people developing there who have not gotten a taste of the main roster. They're not going to get fucking Seth Rollins back. No. They're getting their NXT development guys who haven't seen a
Yeah,
rope, you know, probably before last year. So, what's the fucking complaint? What do you
but
expect?
but it is crazy that like WWE is getting all these top guys from TNA, and TNA is getting like the guys that are mid card.
Do you think
You
TNA
are
knows who
like
half the
you
roster is?
no shot, but like you can at
Then
least send some people, some more names over there. Like I know Josh Alexander is coming to fight Ethan Page. Why didn't you have Ethan Page show up to Josh Alexander and be like, "Look at what I got," you know what I mean? Like and be an asshole like that. That would have been. I think that would have been better on TNA TV than WWE TV.
I just think that people are overlooking this. It's not that big of a deal.
In my opinion, I think I'm one of those people because I think WWE is raiding the TNA locker room and TNA just doesn't care.
I mean, if you think about it, it's been only like 3 people they gotten from TNA.
Oh no, yeah, but look at the people that they've gotten. Big names, right?
Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry.
Yeah. You don't think that right now, they just made a deal with Joe Hendry that now he could work out in the performance center, he could do all of this. You don't think that when his contract's up, when TNA is like, yo, can we re-sign you? Nah, I'm going to the Fed.
But that's it. Like it's really 2 people. I mean, we haven't seen Jordan Grace in weeks, so it's pretty
No,
much
yeah,
Joe Hendry
but
at this point.
oh yeah, but Jordan Grace, she already did her thing. Now they're waiting for her contract to finish so that she could pop over. And the same thing with Josh Alexander. This is a tryout for him. Everybody that's coming over is a tryout for them. And TNA is just letting it happen. They're letting all their top stars go over there. And then when they get mad, Like, why you think Santana hasn't showed up? Because Santana, what I read was that he decided to go to TNA. He was offered a NXT deal. I don't know how true that is, but it makes sense why they wouldn't have him over there because he's a big name right now. That's a big guy that you could use on NXT TV.
Yeah, but
But
again,
he denied your contract, and you know he's probably signed for a while at TNA. Why use him? That's how I look at it.
I know, but it's like people are acting like it's fucking NXT. What do
No, yeah.
who do you think is gonna show up? Someone who's been there for 2 months?
No,
Like
yeah. My whole thing is just that they should move some champions over there and let them show up over there.
yeah. But if it was on the main roster and that was happening, then that's a huge problem, obviously. But
Yeah.
it's NXT. People understand it's development.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why are they? Because I get it, it's development, but
No,
they're getting their top stars, and TNA is getting the lower level of NXT guys.
because like if let's say if there's like let's say if every week on TNA it's only NXT stars.
Oh no, it's
That's not a big fucking deal. Because you're getting all the top guys for NXT stars who just started wrestling yesterday. That's something special.
Yeah, but at least
No matter what they do, they're getting fucked by NXT.
Why hasn't Trick showed up in TNA?
Because he's in a storyline. It's someone. Trick Williams is one person. I get Trick Williams.
That's a big name. That's your biggest name in NXT. Why isn't he doing something over there? He don't got a belt. He got a storyline that's keeping him over here, but that's not even that big of a deal to let him have a match over there. To let him show up, do like an open challenge, and do a match.
Yeah, I guess
that's how I look at it. Like I get it. NXT doesn't have big names, but like there's bigger names you could send over there than you're sending right now.
I mean, Wesley was one of them.
Yeah, but that was more of just like go with your friends.
Yeah.
I think that's a way to get him over there again to have a match with them. But again, I don't know. That might happen on WWE TV.
Yeah. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe we'll see Jordan Grace on SmackDown next year instead of going to NXT. But maybe Joe Hendry will be at the Royal Rumble.
But that's the point. That's what I think is happening. Because right when their contract ends, they've already appeared on NXT. People know who they are. You don't gotta build them up.
Yeah.
You could just throw them in the main roster. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at what they're doing there, especially with Joe Hendry.
It's giving TNA more eyes on the product. That's the good thing.
1,000%. But it's gonna hurt when all those guys that you got the eyes on leave. Then there's no one else to have eyes on.
TNA is known for that company to build stars.
Definitely.
Steve Macklin
is doing their thing.
Steve Macklin's a world champion.
Yeah,
they could make anyone world champion, and it'll still look good on them. So I don't think they should be too worried.
Nah, they don't have to be worried. I just look at it as like it's another like as much as people praise the WWE TNA situation, it's the same thing that they did with AEW, just not as bad because AEW was using them on their main show.
Yeah,
they're using them on developmental, so it's not too bad. But AEW was taking those guys and putting them on AEW TV.
Yeah.
And then sending just Kenny in a bus to TNA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's not as bad as that, but it's still like they're still getting the short end of the stick in the deal. Which they always will because they are that third company.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's better than doing on the main roster, and so
that is true because
that was the risk. Jordan Grace showed up, people knew the name, but it was like a lot of people were like, okay, who is this girl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it gives. I guess they're trying to start off by saying, hey, let's introduce your guys first before we start sending our guys over to you.
Yeah.
So that way, if Trick Williams does go over there and be like, who the fuck is Trick Williams facing? It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So
that's the only thing that's tough in their situation because you're going to have him go face Ziggler and you're going to show that on TV. You know what I mean? So it's weird the way that's all set up because you can't really. There's a lot of WWE guys that I don't think they want to. Not that they don't want to deal with, but they don't want to show them on TV. So having them go over there and fight them makes no sense because you can't really showcase it. It's just a weird
Yeah.
situation that they're in.
So I guess they're trying to build up the TNA guys first, so that
Yeah.
way, whenever they do send it over, it's like, okay, oh
Yeah.
shoot, they're facing this guy that was on 2
Maybe.
weeks ago.
True.
So I don't know. I just don't think it's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal. It's
No,
still
it's not a
benefiting
big deal.
TNA.
I just look at it. I'm like, oh, could have tried to fight more TNA. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you
I guess
see
so.
what's his name? Oh my goodness. Oh man, his it was on the tip of my tongue. He just got fired by TNA.
Who got Scott D'Amore?
Scott,
Yeah.
yeah. Bringing back
Was that
a
his
wrestling
company?
Yeah.
Was that his
Well,
company?
it wasn't his. I think he got the rights to it like in May.
But was it like a big company in Canada?
It was a NWA territory in the 80s.
Oh shit.
So it's like it has like history like from I think because I was reading up on it because I knew they were like an 80s territory before WWE bought them. Which he has that in mind also. He trademarked it, but it was like from 48 to 84. They were NWA territory.
So it was a Canadian NWA.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they got bought out by. They were a territory, so they got bought out by WWE.
So they had like big names over there, like wrestling for them, or was it like
I don't know the names, but they did say that that was like the start for big names from WWE, New Japan, and WCW.
Okay. So I hope
I didn't like
doing
look
that.
into it, but I do want to look into it because that is interesting that he's bringing that back. And ERA has the first show booked
For October, right? I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it's in October. Yeah.
Nice. I hope that becomes a big company in Canada.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Because I don't really know a lot of companies in Canada that are big right now. They probably are, but like you have companies.
I don't follow them like that.
Yeah,
though. I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head.
There's AAA and CMLL in Mexico. They could definitely have a big company in Canada to like work with these companies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe they'll do a crossover show with TNA or WWE and NXT.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's why I thought of that because I was like, oh, it was bought by WWE and they must have let the trademark expire.
Yeah,
and maybe by mistake. And now that was his way of like, all right, you want it back, but you gotta work with me, which is smart. Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked it up. This is the quote that they gave you. For 6 decades, Maple Leaf Wrestling hosted a who's who of the world's greatest wrestlers, D'Amore said in a statement. Legends like San Martino, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, and Roddy Piper all competed in Maple Leaf. Now we're bringing in that legacy back to modern day legends from WWE, New Japan, TNA, AEW, and beyond. So this company is gonna.
They have people announced.
For
the show. Do they have people announced yet for the show?
Yes, the people that they have so far. Where is it? Hold up. So the show is called Forge in Excellence, October 19th and 20th in Ontario. And it's gonna feature TNA stars Josh Alexander, Giselle Shaw, Jake Something, New Japan star Kushida, Raj Desi, Trevor Lee. Shout out my son, Trevor Lee.
You mean Jinder Mahal?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Trevor Lee, yeah. Well, former stars Jinder Mahal and Cameron Grimes.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then more to be announced.
Nice. Okay. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling? Yeah.
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I'm excited. I wonder how that's going to look. I'm interested.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Especially that he's trying to bring like just random companies together. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
Because I like when we have like those crossovers, like when Revolver?
Revolver,
they sometimes have like TNA guys go against AEW. Like I find that real interesting. I find that really cool that they could do that, and the companies are like, yeah.
I'm excited for that, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wonder like if they're gonna do like if it's just house shows, like just like a regular indie show, like, or if they're gonna try and do like maybe Fight TV or something like that.
Oh, that's what I hope. I hope they do that for the
because I would definitely check that out. I would buy that first show.
I would too. Yeah, same here. That's exciting.
If he's running it, 100%.
He knows what to do. He has the ties with TNA. He knows how to book people well.
Yeah.
Storyline wise,
New Japan too. He has the tie-in with.
Yeah. So, And it's pretty sure you could use like up and comers from Canada to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's
I'm
dope
excited
as
for that.
hell. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But I saw that, I was like, I'm happy that he did that.
Yeah,
I know when they fired him, that was so random.
I
And
know.
I swear it was just because he was trying to make that company better.
Yeah, it was definitely for sure.
It was definitely him throwing money at CM. I think that's what it was. Him throwing money at CM Punk, and then the company that owns it say, hey, who you gonna try and sign? Get out!
Yeah.
Stop it! And they
he got fired for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, because he was just trying to make them do better, and they were trying to take the shortcut, the cheap route.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
well,
yeah, I'm
now we're
excited,
almost
man.
hour and a half. But
Holy crap! But yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about a lot, man.
We talked about a lot. Yeah. We could I guess wrap it up there. End the show and those topics. A lot covered from SummerSlam to Lucha Bros to everything else in between. Yeah. Again, this is episode 172 of the Ring Fanatics podcast. I'm Nick, your host. With me, as always, is my co-host Joel, and we will see you guys next time.
Catch you.